Have you ever been to the Varsity? Okay, you know what I'm talking about. The Varsity is an Atlanta landmark. It's a couple of blocks south of here. And I encourage you to go there once. We get a hankering for the Varsity about once a quarter. Anyway, it's hot dogs and hamburgers, the greasiest but best tasting onion rings you'll ever have, a frosted orange. I mean, it's a great place to get a fast meal. But it's not the highest quality food in the world, and you remember it if you've been there. Okay, you remember it for a while. But anyway, let's suppose, I'm trying to figure out who traveled the furthest to get here. I don't know. Noel traveled the furthest. You came from Jamaica, right? What airline did you come on?
American.
On American. Okay. So let's suppose Noel's flying into Atlanta for the seminar, and I remember one time we were flying on, you remember TWA? Anybody remember TWA? We used to say that stand for the worst airline. Because I remember one time flying from New York to London, they ran out of meals halfway over. But anyway, let's suppose Noel's flying from Kingston, Jamaica in here. It's a long flight, and for whatever reason, American Airlines decided they're not going to serve any food, and they're struggling financially. Delta one time last year when they were struggling so bad, when they were in bankruptcy, I remember we were flying from Atlanta to Kansas City. And when we landed, the flight attendant came on and she said, "We know you have your choice of bankrupt airlines. Thank you for choosing ours." So anyway, let's suppose Americans in a fix like that. They can't afford to serve food. The plane's late. He gets in at 2 in the morning and he's hungry. So he's staying in the hotel. The only place that's open is the Varsity. Okay, it's open 24 hours a day. Now there's some strange characters over there at 3 in the morning, so be careful if you decide to go. But anyway, let's suppose he goes over there. He doesn't know the reputation of the Varsity. He orders a burger and fries, gets back to his hotel. It's 3:30 and he's not feeling so good. So calls down to the hotel. Is there a doctor somewhere near here? Well, it turns out if you need a doctor, about 6 blocks down the way, there's a doc in a box. That's what we call the 24-hour doctor. Yep, go right down there. So Noel heads over there, calls ahead. He's driving into the parking lot, and the doctor meets Noel in the parking lot. Okay, he's got the prescription, and he's running to Noel, saying, "Roll down your window. Here's your prescription." Is that a good doctor or a bad doctor? Bad doctor, right. What should the doctor do? Check him out, right. Where did you come from? What did you eat? What's your temperature? What's your EKG? What do you normally eat? What are your symptoms? What's your temperature? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then write a prescription. Well, what does that have to do with activity profiling and data mining? Here's what it has to do. A lot of times we've got this prescription, this new gizmo we saw at the material handling show, this new piece of software that the vendor called and told us about, this neat new process we read about in a magazine, and we're trying to find something for this thing to solve, and we don't even know if there's an issue that needs to be solved. So what we're going to talk about for the next little bit is the diagnosis that you need to do on the patient before you start writing prescriptions. That's what we call warehouse activity profiling and data mining.